go, everyone. Here we go. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to this edition of High School Football Friday, Garden Grove Unified School District Athletics YouTube. I am David Mora, and bear with us. We have run into a little bit of issues. Our mixer decided to stop working just a bit ago, so we are trying to figure things out on the fly. We are not working with our usual audio, but that's okay. We're going to make things work. We roll with the punches here. We have a great matchup for you tonight. We've got the Rancho Alamitos Vaqueros taking on the Ocean View Seahawks. We saw Ocean View a few weeks ago when they played Los Amigos in, I believe it was week 2. So it should be a very good game. But before we get into that, why don't we go ahead and take a look at what these Vaqueros are all about.
Play Ocean View this week, and we got for us to have some success, we need to keep continuing to get better. Our quarterback Chris Hurley, senior, he's really come along and good team leader, and he's led us to these 4 victories we've had so far. So we need him to continue to get better and hopefully continuing on in league.
In order for us to win this week, we have a really good week of practice. Come out really strong, work as a team, have each other's backs, just play good football. In order for us to win again and win the 5th league title in a row, it's going to take a lot of teamwork, hard work, effort, and it'd be nice to win again. I think we have the team to do it, but we love working with each other. We have a really good group of guys, and we think we got a shot. But it'd be nice to win again. And it's going to take us having a really good mentality, going to each and every practice every Friday night to go out there and win.
We have Carlos Acosta, who's the leader of our defense, linebacker, returner, all-league player, actually co-defensive player of the year last year in the Garden Grove League. We got some young guys around him. We start 4 sophomores, and he's really he's helped bring them along. And if he plays well, then we should have some success.
So in order for us to beat Ocean View this week, I feel like it's just to keep on moving with our momentum for us to win league. Same thing, just keep the foot on the gas. Each team's going to be different. I feel like it's going to be different this year. I know that for sure, and it's just going to help us get better from here on out.
We also have Frank Candelario, who's a 2-way player for us, plays tight end, plays strong safety. He's just, he's really come on. I talk about guys doing the senior thing. He played last year as a junior and started for us, but the senior thing is just a guy that blossoms the senior year, and that's been Frank. So as long as he's continues to get better, we should have a lot of success.
For us to win this week, we're going to have to work together as a team, be at a different mentality this week, work together, have the chemistry that we've been having all season, and hopefully continue it on and bring it to Ocean View, and we'll see what turns out. For us to win league, we're going to have to be at a different mentality also. Everyone that wants to take this out, we have a target on our back. We got to defend it like no other. We're trying to make history this year, so we'll see what happens this year too.
We start league next week against Los Amigos. I know they really have a lot of high hopes this year, and they're a really good team. And we got to defend the title, and we've had 4 of them now. But everybody's out to get us, and a lot of people think we're the 4th or 5th best team in our league this year, and we're just going to go out and see what happens. All of them are tough. And Bolsa was beating us at halftime last year. La Quinta was right there. Santiago had us beat, and we made a good drive at the end. And Los had us beat. Loera, we were only up a few at halftime. So all these teams are out to get us, and if we, our thing is we just worry about ourselves and get better each week. And at the end, let the chips fall where they may. But hopefully we can get another one this year.
It was great spending some time with the Vaqueros earlier this week. I know they are ready for this game. I know that they are excited. They are looking forward to it. They are looking forward to defending their league title. That's right, the Vaqueros are looking to win their 5th league title in a row. But before we get into the Vaqueros a little bit more, let's take a look at how our district schools did last week. They went 5-2. Actually, they didn't go 5-2. It looks like they fared a little bit worse than that. They went 4-3. Losses by Bolsa Grande, La Quinta, and Pacifica. Wins by Garden Grove, Los Amigos, Rancho Alamitos. And the game that we covered last week, 50-15 romp by Santiago over Magnolia High School. And what about this week? We had 3 teams play last night. Garden Grove played a very tough Western team and ended up losing that game 34-7. Pacifica battled with LA City section team Banning from the city of Wilmington. It was a 28-14 game, a lot closer than what the score would kind of indicate. And Santiago continuing their winning ways as they improved to 4-1, and they took out Anaheim 32-6. The other games tonight, Bolsa Grande is visiting Godinez at Valley High School. La Quinta is at Century High School, a little Garden Grove Santa Ana battle going on there. And Los Amigos will be hosting Artesia down the way at Michael Mansour Stadium. Now let's get into these schools. Of course, we saw Ocean View against Los Amigos. They ended up taking the loss in that game, but they started out pretty well. They scored first, but Los Amigos was just a little bit hungrier than they were. Of course, the school opened in 1976. Their mascot, the Seahawks, and they are located in Huntington Beach. Their home stadium, Seahawks Stadium. And like I mentioned the last time, notable alumni, former WWE champion Samoa Joe. And what about the Rancho Alamitos Vaqueros? My alma mater. I am a class of 2004 grad, so it's good to be here. I grew up on the sidelines here at Bolsa Stadium as a water boy for this very football team in the 90s. The school opened in 1957. Their mascot, the Vaqueros, which loosely translates, I guess, to cowboy. They're located, of course, in Garden Grove Stadium. Garden Grove, California, their home stadium. This very stadium, Bolsa Grande Stadium. Most notable alumni, Randy Vataha, who was a former NFL player. I believe he played 9 years with the New England Patriots, and he was the founder of one of the founders of the USFL, a very old football league. Let's take a closer look at Ocean View. They're coached by Jimmy Welker. Last year they had a 3-7 record. They were 1-2, and that was good enough for a 3rd place finish in the Pac-4 League, which is part of the Golden West Conference, along with the Big 4 League, which Garden Grove High School is in. They have no league championships. They do have league championships, and their last league championship was in 2019. And you know what? We're going to take a break right now while they play the national anthem. Beautiful job by the Vaquero Marching Band. Sometimes these pre-games can go off without a hitch, and sometimes we have to stop a little bit early for the national anthem. So let's get back into it. This is Ocean View, like I said. Their last league championship was in 2019. Their last playoff appearance was in 2021. They have 0 championship appearance. They are currently 4-1. Their lone victory coming against University High School. And what about your Rancho Alamitos Vaqueros? They are coached by Coach Enright, who has been here since the year 2000, year 22 or maybe 23 for Coach Enright. They had a 2021 record of 9-2. They were undefeated in league and brought home the league championship for the 4th year in a row. Of course, they are in the Garden Grove League. They have a total of 19 championships spread over 3 leagues. Their first league title was in 1959 in the Freeway League, so go figure. And their last league championship, of course, last year, 2021. Their last playoff appearance was in 2021 as well. And they have 3 CIF championship game appearances. They had a heartbreaker in 1992, losing 14-13 against Sunny Hills High School at Santa Ana Stadium. They went back to the finals the year after that, losing to Miracosta. An assistant coach on that Miracosta team was Guy Gardner, who coached at La Quinta and Pacifica in the early 2000s. And then their most recent CIF championship loss was against Garden Grove back in 2014. Of course, it's awesome to see 2 league rivals make it all the way to the championship and play in front of a very packed house at Orange Coast College. So right now the teams are lining up, but we just told you that Rancho is 4-0, looking to go 5-0 here tonight, so we should have a great game. I'm excited to bring it to you. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the coin toss to see how these teams are going to fare, and it's not 4th down. You can go ahead and ignore that. Now I might leave and just the sound might drop out, but that's because I'm running down to get the new mixer from my wife. Rancho captains number 25, Carlos Acosta, number 12, Chris Hurley, number 21, Angel Diaz, and number 55, Gabriel Vu. Referees are getting ready to flip the coin. Referees doing the usual pregame pleasantries. Rancho, of course, in the beautiful green jerseys with gold numbers. Ocean View in white tops and dark gray bottoms. I like to get, descriptive like it's the radio here. I'm a student of old school broadcasters a la Vince Scully. He really painted pictures when he broadcasted. Referee showing both sides of the coin, making sure that there aren't 2 tails or 2 heads. The flip. Coin has hit the ground. And it looks like perhaps Ocean View has won the toss, but we'll get clarification right now. Captains for Ocean View looks like number 16, Frankie Armenta, their QB, Nick Flum. And it looks like Rancho won the toss and they have elected to receive, so they will be getting the ball to start things off. Number 70, also a captain for Ocean View, Nick Ayona. And we are just about getting ready to kick the ball off here at Bolsa Grande Stadium. A little technical difficulties are not going to stop us from having a great time tonight. This is week 5 of the Garden Grove Unified School District High School Football Friday broadcast. Rancho Alameda is getting ready to take on the Ocean View Seahawks. So what's most likely going to happen is right before kickoff, I'm going to have to run down these bleachers to go get my mixer. But we're going to try and be back with you as soon as possible, so bear with us. You will have the video and you will have some background audio. The commentary will start as soon as I get that mixer plugged in, or maybe I'll start commenting when I start plugging the new mixer in. As the Vaqueros run onto the field, and they are fired up and ready to go. And here comes Ocean View running onto the field and going to their sideline now. I thank every one of you who has tuned in so far. We hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. And please feel free to share the link with friends and family and allow them to tune in as well. Tonight also Rancho's homecoming, so we will try and bring you a little bit of the halftime festivities once that comes around. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to put up the audio issues, but don't worry, we will be back, so just stay tuned.
picks up the first for Rancho. Early drops, looks wired. Pass broken out by number 34 for Ocean View. The intended receiver was Frank Candelario.
Mic check 1 2, mic check 1 2. So now everyone can hear me, right? Hopefully we have our sound kind of fixed up here. We're going to try. So here we go, Hurley dropping back to pass. Fires, and that's going to be incomplete. Allow me to just kind of fix my sound as I go through here. We will figure this out. Rancho now lining up to punt as it's 4th and 14. I missed a good deal of that drive there. Try and make my audio sound a little bit better. So here we go. I think we're doing a little bit better now. We have to roll with the punches sometimes, and that's exactly what we are doing here. Okay, here we go. I'm settling in. I'm sweaty. I just ran a good 100 yards, and I'm not a young, spry guy anymore, so I'm feeling it for sure. As Ocean View has a 1st and 10 from the 10-yard line. Armenta hands the ball off. Running back gets a nice gain. He's still on his feet, gets a gain of about 15. Tries to break that last tackle. That run, of course, by Haston Allen, who had himself a game. We called his name a few times during the Los Amigos game. All right, here we go. We're turning off the processing, so now I feel better. Now I can hear myself. You can hear me breathing hard. Do not laugh at me. And I think we're rocking and rolling. So is this game. As we're almost halfway through the first quarter here, 6 minutes and 42 seconds left to go. No score here at Bolsa Grande Stadium. Pass complete to the right side, and that was to Jesse Gomez for a gain of about 3 yards on the play. It's going to bring up 2nd and 7 for the Seahawks. Seahawks come out in a shotgun formation, trips left. Armenta drops back to pass, has a man open, number 46, catches over the middle, gets taken down at about the 39-yard line. That reception by Gage Pritchard is going to give Ocean View a 1st down. Never mind me, I'm just getting things plugged in here. Getting set up, just in case we have any special guests that are going to come into the booth with us tonight, as we might have a surprise or two in store for everybody. As I'm sweating all over the equipment, this is not a good sign as the Ocean View Seahawks line up in shotgun. Armenta takes the snap, quick handoff. Looks like Haston Allen on the carry. Gets about 4 yards on the play. It's going to bring up second down for the Seahawks. I just want to take this time to shout out my wife, who drove all the way from Fullerton. Last minute, I called her at 6:09, asked her to bring my spare mixer, and she made it here. Not before the game started, but she made it here, and that's all that counts. And I love her to death. So thank you, Miss Rosas. Seahawks come out in shotgun again to run this second down play. Trips left. Armenta getting ready to take the snap. Hands the ball off to Allen to the left side. Tries to sneak it outside, but nothing doing on that one. Carlos Acosta on the tackle for the Vaqueros. Clock running here in the first quarter, 4:52, so the first quarter going by really quickly here. Still no score for either team. Seahawks break the huddle. This time they've got trips right. Armenta getting ready to take the snap. Rolls out to his right, but they're going to blow the play dead. There's going to be a flag on the play. I just want to take time right now to thank Ben Nguyen of La Quinta High School for being here with me. Dedicated camera guy. That's going to be a false start on the Seahawks, so that's going to drive them back 5 yards, and they're going to replay third down. So now it's going to be 3rd and 12. And I have my mom texting me right now, folks. No matter how old you are, you need to make sure that you recognize your parents. Thank you to my mother for being so supportive over these years. And I guess a thank you to my father, too. Always tuning in. Even though he worked for that rival school down the road, we're not going to mention the name of that school, even though we did earlier, because this is a Rancho broadcast, and we're not going to bring up anything that has to do with anything red here tonight, unless the Vaqueros are in the red zone, as Armenta rolls out to right, looks to pass, and that's going to be incomplete, bringing up a 4th down for the Seahawks. So both defenses holding strong here to start the game. Now, the last time we broadcasted that Ocean View Los Amigos game, Ocean View did not punt the ball. For the first few drives, they just went for it, and of course they had a quick kick on one of them, so let's see what they do here as they are lined up in shotgun with a trips right set. Armenta getting ready to take the snap with Allen there to his left side. Armenta drops back to pass, looks over the middle, pass caught by number 22. He's got enough for the first down, but not much more as a swarm of Vaqueros take him down on the play. But nevertheless, going to bring up a 1st down for the Seahawks as they gain that 1st down on a long 4th down play. Nice play by Armenta to find his guy over the middle. My dad reminded me that I was a Lobo at one point. Trips right for the Seahawks. Armenta getting ready to take the snap. Quick pass to number 2 to the right side on the little screen. Gains about 3 yards on the play. That reception by Jordan Smith-Sherry, who we also called out a lot during that Los Amigos game as well. So it was, that night it was Armenta, it was Allen, it was Smith-Sherry, maybe a few more guys in there, but for the most part it was those 3 names that we were calling all night while the Seahawks were on offense. So now I'm settling in. My heart has stopped racing. I am not sweating like I ran a marathon now. Armenta getting ready to take the snap. Quick handoff. No, takes it to the right side. He's got some room. He's still on his feet. Pushed out of bounds by number 11, Alexander Cruz. Nice little keeper by Armenta to get the Seahawks that first down, and they're putting up a nice little drive here. This is the fourth game that I've personally broadcast here at Bolsa Grande High School. Last year I did 2 Pacifica games, and of course we did that Week 0 game, Bolsa Grande against Workman. Of course, a Bolsa Grande victory, so we're undefeated here at Bolsa Grande Stadium. Well, this year. We won't bring up last year. Trips left for the Seahawks. Armenta takes the snap, fakes the handoff, passes it out to the right side to Jesse Gomez. Gets about 7 yards on the play. It's going to bring up 2nd down for the Seahawks. They called it a gain of 6. I said 7. Potato, potato. Seahawks come up to the line of scrimmage. Trips left formation. Smith Sherry in the backfield there with Armenta. Armenta takes the snap, quick pass to the right side, then shoveled back to a lineman. A little trickery by the Seahawks. That ball was caught by Jesse Gomez and flipped back almost immediately to offensive lineman Jaden Trujillo, who ends up getting the first down for the Seahawks. So the Seahawks pulling out a little something from their bag of tricks early here in the game. Armenta takes a snap, looks left, has a man open in the end zone. That's going to be a touchdown for the Seahawks. Number 22, Angel Adame with the touchdown reception, as the Seahawks are going to end up taking an early lead here. So 6-0 for the Seahawks on that beautiful pass and catch. Seahawks lining up to go for 2. Armenta rolls out, looks for a man to his right, decides to keep it now, and he's going to be stopped short. So the conversion is no good. Seahawks, though, taking a 6-0 lead here in the first quarter. 2:09 left, and Rancho will be getting the ball back to start their second drive after this kickoff. My dad's giving me worries, telling me he had no video when it was user error. So the Seahawks converting on a 4th and 12 and continuing that last drive, and then continuing to drive down the field before a nice pass and catch from Frankie Armenta to Angel Adame. Isis Salazar now getting ready to kick off for the Seahawks. Squib kick by the Seahawks. And they're going to get the ball back. They are jumping up and down. The Seahawks are going to recover the squib kick, so they're in business once again with great field position. Ball at about the 49.5-yard line. So the Seahawks pulling out a play from their bag of tricks, and then right after that touchdown, electing to go for a squib kick and getting the ball back. So Coach Welker trying to keep this Rancho offense off of the field. Haston Allen back there with Armenta, trips left for the Seahawks. Takes the snap, handoff to Allen to the right side. Allen breaks a tackle. Gets about 5 or 6 yards on the play. Seahawks looking just the way they did during the first game on their first drive. They went down and scored on the Lobos, and then a few fourth down conversion fails kind of kept them out of that ball game. But tonight, that fourth down conversion giving them a little momentum, allowing them to go in and score, and then getting this squib kick. So this is a different Seahawk team than what we've seen in week 1. You know, that was a long time ago. That was literally last month. So this team looks much improved tonight. Trips left for the Seahawks. Armenta getting ready to take the snap. Hands the ball off to Allen to the left side this time. Allen's going to rumble his way for about 4 or 5 yards. It looks like they are very close to the first down. And they are going to give it to him. First down Seahawks. Seahawks continuing where they left off on that last drive, which is no surprise. The last drive was literally the drive before this one. .48 seconds left and counting here in the first quarter. 4 wide receivers for the Seahawks. Armenta getting ready to take the snap. Rolls out to his right, passes the ball to him wide open, man. That's caught. Oh no, dropped by Adame, who is going to regret that one. That should have been all his. It looked like he was open, pretty much, not wide open, but open enough to be able to make a play on that ball, but not being able to bring it down, and that's going to bring up a second down for the Seahawks from the Rancho 40-yard line. This Rancho crowd getting into it, a nice size crowd here for the Vaqueros. Of course, their homecoming tonight. Like I said, I'm a 2004 grad of Rancho Alamitos. So this is a game that I was looking forward to calling. Armenta under center this time. Oh no, he wasn't under center. He was his block. Pass number 22. Angel Adame again. That's his favorite go-to receiver. And they're very close to the first down. It's going to be a gain of 9 yards. So 2nd and 1 for the Seahawks on that Armenta to Adame connection. So Seahawks now looking like they're just having very little trouble moving the ball down the field. And at this point, if you're the Rancho defense, you've got to be struggling just a little bit. You've been on the field for almost the whole quarter. You know, they say the battle is won in the trenches, so there's a lot of battles going on up there tonight for that Rancho front four, and you know, they're going to need a rest at some point. So the Seahawks pretty much have them right where they want them. And perhaps a little bit of a mental fatigue there as the Rancho defense jumps off sides, gifting the Seahawks a free 5 yards. And that's going to bring the end of the first quarter, which is good for this Vaquero defense as they can get a little breather here. So like I said, I went to Rancho Alamitos. I grew up on these sidelines and spent a lot of the time, you know, as a matter of fact, the reason why I fell in love with the game of football, other than the New York Giants and having those videotapes, you know, in the household, thanks to my father, is, you know, my father worked at Rancho back in the early 90s, so I was always around the campus. I went to Bryant Elementary School, which is right adjacent to Rancho, so I was at Rancho after school. I was at the football practices. You know, I hung out with the football players. One of my favorite childhood memories was actually being taken out of my 3rd grade class and going to a Rancho pep rally as a 3rd grader for their homecoming game. And shout out to Jeff Turbarg, who, you know, really took me under his wing there. In my eyes, a legendary Rancho wide receiver. And you know what, since we're here, why don't we, let's see if we can bring this up here. Let's see if I've got this picture loaded up. I guess I don't have it loaded up, but we're gonna get this picture loaded up. we're going to just show you a little something cool here. Let's see if I can bring it up before the quarter starts. And there it is right there. There I am, pulled straight from one of the Rancho game tapes. That's a young me on the sideline, so definitely a special game for me to be calling here tonight and having that special connection to Rancho. So here we go as we get ready to start the second quarter. Ball is going to be on the 25-yard line. Ocean View marching down the field. They actually started with the ball on the 49-yard line, so not much marching needed to be done to get to this point. Trips left for the Seahawks. Armenta takes the snap, looks to pass. Pass complete to number 4, who breaks the tackle, still on his feet at the 5, and he's going to go into the end zone. That's going to be Jesse Gomez for the touchdown. And Seahawks getting on the board one more time, and I have no idea what is going on with my animation, but sometimes that's just how it goes, and we're going to have to do this manually. Seahawks taking a 12-0 lead here. Let me see if I can get this to work here. Let me try it one more time, at least get the animation going. And there it is. So touchdown Seahawks. And reset the score, so now we need to go and add 12 there. So here we go. Seahawks again going for 2. They do not kick unless they kick off. Armenta look to pass, rolls out to his right, and takes a big hit. Ooh, he is going to be denied. Number 25, Carlos Acosta, bringing the boom to Armenta. So that's going to be the second failed conversion for the Seahawks. But they have a 12-0 lead. And you can ignore that unsavory language if it came over the microphone. Back deep to receive for the Vaqueros is Aaron Dominguez. On the last kickoff, he had no shot of receiving the ball, as Ocean View elected to squib kick. So let's see what they do here as Isis Salazar lines up for the kick. And there we go, another squib kick. This time again picked up by the Seahawks, or it's going to be a battle. It's going to be close. But from here, it looked like the Seahawks picked it up. Let's see if they're going to give the ball to the Vaqueros. And Vaqueros getting that ball back, but at first glance, it looked like the Seahawks once again getting that ball back. So they're trying to keep this ball away from the Rancho Alamitos offense. Of course, Rancho's offense is nice and potent, putting up 50 points last week against Godinez. So they are an explosive team. So first and 10 for the Vaqueros from their own 43-yard line. Trips left, 5 wide receiver set, so Hurley all back there by himself. He drops back to pass. Quick pass to number 2, who catches it at about the 42-yard line and taken down almost immediately. It looks like it might have got back to the original line of scrimmage, if that. That reception by Emmanuel Tellez. Going to bring up second down for the Vaqueros. Hurley again in an empty backfield, trips right this time. Takes the snap, looks to his right to pass, throws it over the middle. Right out of the hands of number 21. Angel Diaz, who was going to wish he could take that one back. Vaqueros. Diaz was about to hit pay dirt if he would have caught that ball. He was definitely behind the men in coverage. As that brings up a third down for the Vaqueros. Hurley takes the snap, rolls out to his right. And taken down sacked on the play by number 55, I believe, and number 5. So you had both Samuel Cabrera and Haston Ellen coming in to make the play. And the Rancho Vaquero punt team will head out to the field. Ocean View defense much improved from that first week, although they did play Los Amigos tough early on in the game, so let's see if they can sustain that. I don't imagine this Rancho offense to struggle all night. They are very potent, like I said. That punt bounces at about the 35-yard line and takes a nobody bounce as it just kind of sits there and rolls almost 90 degrees to the left side. Pardon me, get a little more. Vaquero's not taking that much time, or neither team taking that much time off the clock here. Ocean View comes out, trips left formation. Armenta gets ready to take the snap. Rolls out to his right. Flags on the play. It's going to be an incomplete pass. Let's see what the call is on the field. Looks like that's going to be on the Seahawks. It's going to be a holding. That's going to drive them back just a little bit. One of my favorite games that I was able to watch Rancho play was right here at Bolsa Grande Stadium in the 1996 playoffs against Bellflower in the first round. An absolute rout, demolition by Rancho over the Buccaneers. Send them on to the second round. Armenta hands off to number 27, Alejandro Polo, out to the left side. He's going to get maybe to that line of scrimmage before being brought down by a swarm of Vaqueros. And look at that, the Deuces are wild here. Well, they almost were. At first it was second down and 22 on the 22 in the second quarter, but they fixed it up. We love the number 2 around here. Of course, like I mentioned, that number 2 worn by Jeff Turbarg, and I wore that during my some of my junior All-American years. That number was later worn by Rancho great David Vickers, so that number is very, very special here. Trips left for the Seahawks. Allen back there with Armenta. Armenta takes a snap, looks to his left side. Pass intended for Jesse Gomez, but thrown right over his head, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 23 here for the Seahawks. This Rancho crowd getting nice and loud, setting up a good atmosphere for the Vaqueros. Crowd nice and fired up here. I love it. Armenta getting ready to take the snap. Trips left for the Seahawks. Passes it to Allen, who catches it and goes nowhere. Brought down almost immediately. Brought down by number 30, Jonathan Biggs. It's going to bring up a 4th down for the Seahawks. Now this is going to be interesting. Again, we said the Seahawks go for it on 4th down. They're at their own 20. I highly doubt they really want to give Rancho the ball this close, but they don't have themselves a traditional punt team. So let's see if they run a quick kick or a quick punt here, or if they try and get some yards. But either way, Rancho looking to have some good field position if they can get a stop here on 4th down. And there it is. It's going to be that quick punt. And that's going to take a Rancho bounce as it dies a little bit and rolls to the Rancho 42-yard line, so that could have been a lot worse, but now it's Rancho ball here in the second quarter as they get their third drive started and hoping to get something going on this drive as they trail the Seahawks 12-0 here in the second quarter. So Rancho getting their third drive started as we are joined here in the booth. And that's going to be a beautiful run by number 21, Angel Diaz, who takes that for about 11 or 12 yards for a Rancho first down. So Coach, can you hear? Can you hear okay? Let's see, we might have to turn you up. How about now? You don't hear anything? Let's see. You know what, there we go. How about now?
Now I hear you.
There we go. So Coach, introduce yourself to our viewers here.
My name is An Than. I'm the boys varsity basketball coach at Rancho Alamitos High School. I'm also the AP physics teacher and chemistry teacher at Rancho.
Awesome, Coach. We thank you for joining us here on our broadcast. You're our second special guest here. So it's awesome to have you up here as, you know, Rancho is getting ready to take this second down play here. Angel Diaz gets that ball up the middle and looks to inch closer to that first down. So, you know, I'm talking a little bit here about the history of Rancho, and, you know, Rancho really known as a football school, you know, but you know, I was doing a lot of research here last night, as you know, as I always do for these things, and you know, doing a lot of looking back into the 80s, and you know, that seems to be like when Rancho was like, you know, a basketball kind of power, right? But tell us about Rancho basketball now for the folks who might not know.
Gotcha. Well, we're on the up definitely, because the last few years we were the first school to be modernized with a brand new gym. So that process has lent itself to our basketball program making the quarterfinals of CIF 3 years ago. And from there, as we proceed to grow as a program, we now run the second largest varsity basketball tournament in Orange County, Thanksgiving week. It's a 16-team bracket varsity basketball tournament.
So that's a flag on the Seahawks, trying to get that play started a little bit better. I love to hear that. I love to hear, you know, Rancho kind of branching out in you know, becoming a leader in, you know, in a sport that's, you know, they're not traditionally a leader in. Of course, in the early 90s, a lot of success with the girls basketball team, you know, winning a few CIF titles and making some deep runs in the state tournament. But, you know, to have it, you know, now coming back in like you said, beautiful new gym, beautiful new floor, beautiful bleachers, definitely different than when I was a student there, you know.
Yeah.
And it's good to see. You know, the campus looking a lot different than, you know, what a lot of us who went to the school are used to. But, you know, and now with the stadium here, the facilities now match, you know, what the students can do here on the field. So that's good to hear.
Yeah, and our own field is getting modernized as well in November. So in 12 months' time, we will have a brand new track as well.
As we have a beautiful run there by Jesus Diego. And yeah, so that's going to be something big. You know, our grass fields here in the district leave a lot to be desired. They're not exactly, you know, the nicest things to play on. But, you know, like I always look at this field, and I love the way it looks, but there's always that certain charm about grass field. And I sometimes reminisce about the old Bolsa Stadium, even though this is a beautiful facility. But it's good that these students are getting, you know, the same kind of facilities that a lot of the other schools have been getting and have had for, you know, at least 10 years now.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that our district has done a really good job of, is taking care of the facilities to help our students to their best potential and positive productions.
Yeah, it's definitely a good thing. The district definitely you know, doing a lot of great things. And, of course, that has a lot to do with the school board and with our community for, you know, approving, you know, measures P and measures A over the last few years as Rancho runs that ball on third down as they're inching towards that first down. They've got the ball on the 13 yard line. So, Coach, tell us a little bit about Rancho basketball going into this winter.
So right now, a lot of my Rancho basketball players are on the football field right now. The quarterback, Hurley, plays for us. 3 of the linemen also play for us. So that's a big majority of our physicality of our program right there on the football field.
And and that's what you love to see. You see a lot of college coaches saying that they prefer 2-sport athletes because they're well-rounded instead of the students and athletes who play one sport year-round. So to be able to mix and match, and not a lot, you don't see that a lot of times where the football players play basketball. It's usually football and baseball, maybe a football and wrestling or soccer here and there. But it's good to see that football-basketball connection for sure.
Yeah, and one thing we really have proud of at Rancho is all the head coaches in the boys' major sports are on-site teachers. So Coach Enright is a teacher on campus, and I'm a teacher on campus, and Coach Macias for baseball is also a teacher on campus. So football, basketball, and baseball, all head coaches are teachers on campus.
And that's great to see because you get to have that all-day connection with your students, and you get to make sure that they're doing the right things. A lot of times, kids get out of line, as we all do. We've all done it in high school, and maybe you need to be set straight to have the coaches there. It's a great thing. Rancho now with a 2nd and goal here from the 9-yard line, so looking to get on the board as they trail the Seahawks 12-0 here. And one of your players, Hurley, back there, getting ready to take the snap. Hands the ball off to Diaz, who takes a spin, still on his feet. Takes 3 Seahawks to take him down. So how did you guys do last year?
Last year we finished 5th in our league. We're definitely a young team. I only have 1 senior again this year. So the majority of my team are all juniors and sophomores.
And and for those of you out there who don't really follow Garden Grove League basketball, it's a very tough league. Santiago's been up there for
then
quite a while.
La Quinta's been really good as well.
La Quinta making a deep run into the playoffs last year. Bolsa traditionally strong, so definitely a tough league as Hurley rolls out to his right here, looking to pass the ball. Throws it to the corner of the end zone. That's going to be caught for a touchdown. Do they signal? That's going to be a touchdown by number 10, Matthew Sanchez. That's going to be a touchdown by the Vaqueros. So they get on the board and they cut that lead right in half. 12-6 now with 4:42 left to go here in the 2nd quarter as the Vaqueros get on the board. And this is exactly why the Seahawks wanted to squib the ball again and keep it out of the Vaquero hands. Now the Vaqueros have a kicker, so they will be lining up for the extra point, and it is good. So see, Coach, you come up here, you and Dr. Heflin here come up, and you guys seem to be the good luck spark here for the Vaqueros who get on the board here in the 2nd quarter. A beautiful pass and catch from Chris Hurley to number 10, Matthew Sanchez.
Yeah, Matt Sanchez also plays basketball for us as well.
And there you go. So you've got that connection. Of course, probably how tall is he?
He's about 5'10".
So there you go. You had some height in the back of the end zone. A little tip on that play, but had that wherewithal to keep his eye on the ball and reel it in. And not only did he catch, is he the kicker as well? So
he is the kicker as well.
So there you go. Now he's pulling double duty. Now the Rancho sideline looking a little bit more alive as they kick this ball to the right side. Picked up by number, and broken. He's at the 45-yard line. That was number 2, I believe, Smith Sherry. Jordan Smith Sherry on the kickoff return. So have you seen Rancho any other times this year?
For football, I help them weekly.
Okay, there we go.
So I set up the sideline cameras for them, make sure that we get our video sent down to the sideline so all the coaches can see any play that they need to review.
So there we go. That's one of the most confusing things to do is get all the camera equipment set up. You have so many things working and all the Wi-Fi issues and just connection issues, and definitely takes a person with a strong. Strong confidence to get that done.
Trust me, there's a lot of errors in it from my end, but it's been working well. And like, that's one thing our district has also done a great job of helping us out with our huddle access. They help us with the fees for huddle, and they set up all the cameras so that we can use it properly.
And the beautiful thing is every game in our district, regardless of whether we're doing the ones who are producing a live broadcast, can be live broadcast thanks to the huddle cameras at each of our stadiums and inside of all of our gymnasiums as well. So definitely just bringing experiences, and it, not only does it help out with coaches breaking down film and students getting better, but it also allows those who can't attend the game to have a view as well, as Armenta passes the ball and it's incomplete, pass intended for Adame there on the right side. So yeah, we definitely know about video issues and technical issues, as we've had quite a few here on our stream. So so we definitely understand that. But tonight we rolled with the punches. So what happened was we have a different mixer than this. It wasn't turning on.
Okay.
So we had to get this mixer brought to us from Fullerton.
Okay.
Didn't make it in time for the game, but it made it in time for this wonderful interview. Or else we were going to be here with a small microphone. But we would have done it, because we rolled the punches, and that's just, you have to adapt, and that's what Vaqueros do, is we adapt to whatever is going on, just like this offense and this defense is adapting to their circumstances as they cut the lead to 5 for the Seahawks. Looks like we have a penalty. It's going to be a false start there on the Seahawks. Seahawks now with a 2nd and 20, and that's going to be their second. It's going to be their second long down, and I still have the kickoff thing here, so we'll turn that off. We're doing things a little bit different. We usually do the first down, second down, all manually here, but we're trying to ease the stress. So we're letting the scoreboard do the talking for us, so to speak.
How many games have you guys done this season for football already?
So we've done, this is our 6th game. So next week we have Pacifica here. So we've done 6, and for the most part they've gone off without a hitch, but we've had a few hiccups here and there. Armenta rolling out to the right side and overthrows his receiver, intended for Adame again. It's going to bring up 3rd down. So yeah, we've done 5 games so far, and Ben here is a student at La Quinta High School.
Oh, very nice.
And he's been with me for most of them, and that's just kind of what this, the start of this program is. It's me kind of being here, but eventually I would like to have a team of students mostly doing everything. And,
That's
so
great.
if there are any students who are interested in sports broadcasting or, sports management, sports marketing, this is a great way for you to kind of get introduced to some of the behind the scenes aspects of, marketing a team. So it's fun.
Look at you using a gradual release of responsibility on the technology right here.
Delegate, right?
Yes.
Delegate. That's the name of the game. Is you want to be able to delegate things, and it's just to empower the students.
No, definitely.
And this is for the students, and it's definitely something I want them to be able to take over at some point, so they can get all of the credit. As we have another flag on the play, another false start by the Seahawks. So the Seahawks got off to a strong start, but now a little bit of the momentum switching to Rancho side, as it's now 3rd and a very long 25 from the Seahawk 34-yard line. Rancho looking to hopefully get another score here before the half ends, as the Seahawks will be getting the ball to start the second half.
So you're homegrown in this district as well?
I'm homegrown, yes, homegrown. Okay. I went to Bryant, and then I went to Alameda, so I was around the Rancho football team from 3rd grade all the way through 8th grade, as Armenta loads that ball deep, and that's going to be picked off. It's going to be at the 40-yard line, the 35, the 30. He gets a block and taken down, still on his feet. It's going to be picked off by number 9, Jesus Diego, who you've seen get a nice pickoff in that hype video that we showed earlier. As we have a Seahawk on the field. So referee timeout, but the Vaqueros getting the ball back. So yes, homegrown. I went to Bryant and then Alameda's in Rancho. My father worked at Rancho in the early 90s, so I was always at the school at the football practices. And I mentioned one of my favorite memories as a child. In 3rd grade, I was pulled out of my out of class at Bryant to go into a pep rally with the football team, and I was on the shoulders of one of the wide receivers with my hand up as they were doing the break. So Rancho football it's why I actually started playing football as a child. We played our home games at Rancho, so it's for me, it's really special. My favorite color, green. You know, so it's really in me. You know, I said we're not going to mention a certain school other than the first time we said it, and I won't mention the school.
Yeah.
The school down the street. Like, for me, the rivalry like that was, like, real. You know, and I hope that at some point it gets kind of renewed because I think it's big for the city. So many, you know, generations and generations at Rancho and that other school who have kind of grown up, and even same households divided and people marrying each other from the other school.
Yeah.
So it's definitely something I hope that, you know, is brought back in the few years, and always some great battles with those two schools.
Ironically, I went to Garden Grove High School.
See, so you'll say it. See, which is crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm homegrown as well. I went to Warren Elementary,
Okay.
then I went to Walton, then I went to Garden Grove High School, and I taught here for 15 years now at Rancho. So
Yeah. So see, my dad works at that school.
okay.
You know, so
Yeah.
he's all about it right now. But we have those friendly little battles all the time, and it's fun. It's really fun, and it's definitely something where I like to kind of rib people who went there, be like, nah, it's, you know,
Yeah.
so I'm never gonna wear that color, and I really try not to. Like, I'll wear red sometimes, but whenever I'm there, I won't do.
Yeah. So the head basketball coach there used to coach with us, like, on the same staff.
Okay.
So yeah, so Coach Semeka, the varsity coach at Grove, was on the same staff with us at Rancho years prior.
And of course-
we're really good, good friends.
So what we're saying now is Rancho can claim that title because
Yeah.
he got to start this.
No,
so,
you're right. Yeah, he had to learn stuff somewhere. I mean,
there you go. He learned it at the ranch and was
At the
able to
ranch.
take it over there and
Yes.
win the school's first
Yes.
basketball league title
Yes, yes.
in school history, as Rancho has the ball there at the 24-yard line. And I'll make sure that I bring it up as much as I can. That He
Yes.
got to start at Rancho.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
You know, like when league time is over and like when teams are in the playoffs and like let's say like our season's done, like we went and supported other Garden Grove League schools throughout the whole CIF ride that they had last year as well.
And, you know, and you have to because, you know, unfortunately, the Garden Grove League, and no matter what sport it is, it doesn't get the respect it deserves. You know, there are student athletes here who excel on the field, excel in the classroom, but, you know, and it's just kind of like the media market, right? Orange County doesn't get the love that LA gets. The Garden Grove League, because we've got these schools surrounding us, you know, like the Mater Deis, the Los Als, all of these high-powered, you know, dynasty schools who don't really have to pull from seven different schools who can kind of build these super teams. They get all the shine, but there have been some very great athletes to come out of this district. Got a personal foul on the Seahawks, so it's going to be a first down unless there's two of them. Nope, it's going to be a first down for the Vaqueros. And that might be a first and goal for the Vaqueros. If my math is right, that 15-yard penalty should go to the 9-yard line. Let's see here.
That's some pretty good mathing you did.
There you go, and I'm
Yeah,
going to thank
there you
Mr.
go.
Hall, who is now at La Quinta High School.
Sean Hall.
Sean, yes,
Yes,
Mr. Hall,
sir.
who was my math teacher.
Okay, yeah, he was the coach for the girls team before I took over the girls team at Rancho years ago.
See, there we go. It's all tying. It all ties together here. First and goal for the Vaqueros. Hurley looking back to get the. Ironically, I believe Chris Hurley's older brother,
Brett Hurley.
even older than that.
Ooh.
How old is he?
Brett-
Is he 30?
He's probably mid-20s right now.
No, an older brother.
An older.
I think Mike.
Yeah.
I played football with Mike when I was a young kid.
Okay.
So the Hurley family.
Yeah.
Now talk about large.
Yeah.
The Hurley family. Now they've got, and we talked about that divide.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of Hurleys at
Exactly.
Garden Grove, a lot of Hurleys at Rancho.
Yeah.
The one outlier that went to Pacifica.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty cool. That's why that rivalry is special.
Yeah.
Because it does divide households.
When Chris's older brother played for us, I remember Chris coming into the gym when he was like 5 years old and just shooting around, and now he plays basketball for us.
Isn't
as well.
that awesome?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Oh, that's the score.
That's going to be a touchdown for the Vaqueros. Exactly what they needed here, as they're going to take the lead 13-12 now. And usually this thing adds my score, but like we said earlier, the technical difficulties sometimes pop up here and there. But yeah, so I believe it was Brett when I was playing with his brother was very, very small. wearing Packers gear all the time.
Yeah.
So then, as years go on and we're like, Brett, it's like that was a little kid who was running around.
Yeah.
And, he was very, very good while he was here at Rancho. So
Yes,
that
he
was
was.
good to see. Was that a no good?
No
on
good,
the
no good.
No good on the PAT as Rancho will now kick the ball off. This crowd, very amped up tonight.
Yeah, our crowd this year has been really good. We've been traveling really well, even to Glover Stadium in Anaheim, and especially our home games. It's been really packed.
That's awesome. You always need that. That's when a football team, really shows out for you. When that crowd is ready and that crowd is into it, then that gives that football team that extra incentive, that
definitely.
extra fire.
And it's homecoming day as well for us, so I
That's
think
awesome.
more so.
Now I have to give a shout out to Coach Joel Hurtado out there on the sideline, class of 2003. I love that guy, but when he graduated, I was sad because I would give him my lunch money to go and get me lunch because he was a sizable guy and I was a
Yeah,
small guy,
yeah.
so I'm not going to get through the line, and he was. So senior year, I might have lost a little bit of weight there due to him graduating.
That is great.
Great guy. I talk to him every now and then.
Yeah, that's one thing I try to do well also is try to get my former players to come back as coaches so that, just the Rancho name and just being familiar with how we do things.
And, it keeps that tradition going, and it's always special. It's always special to see. And that, that's kind of how it was in the early 90s where you had Coach Doug Case, who was a Rancho alum, and there were a lot of guys coming back to coach. And I know now on the football team they've got a few guys, from recent times here coaching as well. So that's definitely a great thing to see. You're able to teach kids kind of the ways and the traditions and just what it means to put on that uniform.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's always great to have former players come back and support the current players.
Seahawks starting with the ball at the 20-yard line as they look to make something happen here before the end of the half. The Vaqueros now scoring 13 straight unanswered points to take the lead here in the second quarter.
And that was all since Dr. Heflin has been up in this booth, by the way.
There you go. One of you is that good luck charm, Coach. I don't know which one, but it's almost like if you leave and something happens, I know who to blame as a Rancho defense snuffs that one out. Gain of maybe 4 yards. They're going to give him 5. Oh, they're going to give him 6 yards on that play. Gets that forward progress. We'll bring up 2nd and 3 for the Seahawks as the clock is winding down here in the second quarter. Menta takes the snap, looks to his right to pass. Wow, that ball was close to being picked off by number 22, Aaron Ortiz.
Aaron is in my physics class.
See, I was nowhere near a physics class in high school, so to be able to be on the football team and do physics, the athletes are built differently these days. They're hitting the books hard and they're hitting the field hard, and it's beautiful to see. Student athlete.
Student first.
Yeah, there
Student
you go.
first.
Trips right for the Seahawks. Armenta getting ready to take the snap. Looks to pass to his left. Looks like that's Jesse Gomez on the reception and the first down for the Seahawks. So yeah, I know usually for the homecoming you have all the old cheerleaders come back and kind of put on their uniforms, and always try to get my wife to come out to these because she was a cheerleader here for Rancho and can never do it. Could never do it. I snuck a picture of her, and I'm glad she doesn't listen. Snuck
She might be listening right now.
Oh, I love her. If she is there, but we snapped a picture of her in her cheerleading outfit a few years ago, and it's being passed around on Snapchat with my family. Every now and then it'll pop up to her.
Also, you guys met at Rancho.
No. So we didn't meet at Rancho. We actually met way after.
Oh.
Yeah, but our best friends dated in high school. And
Gotcha.
we just never connected in high school.
Okay.
So we got trips right here for the Seahawks as the Rancho crowd is trying to get this defense fired up. Armenta backs up, looks to his right. Pass number 22 dropped by Adame. It's going to bring up third down for the Seahawks. Yeah, let me tell you, in high school I was very shy. Very shy. I didn't do much talking. So, a lot different than now. I mean, I'm making up for it now. Very different story these days.
Like you're just charging it up.
Yeah. But the reason why I'm very comfortable now with speaking is because I took a speech class in high school with Mr. Hamamoto, who used to coach basketball at Rancho. And that was it took like 13 years for me to find a class that I absolutely loved. And that was it. And it changed the course of my whole life. So definitely owe everything that I have now to that class.
Mr. Hamamoto was known for the scary daily quizzes. The quizzes that the kids had to take daily about what they read and the fine details of the literature that they read.
So I'll always remember in his speech class that we would get checked off for every vocal pause. So the ums, the ers. So ever since, that class, that's all I can focus on when I'm watching a speech or hearing people talk. So I'm very mindful of trying not to do it. And here it's very hard when you're live and trying to fill up time as Armenta completes that pass to number 46, Gage Pritchard, for second down. But yeah, so it's very hard to continue talking and not have those vocal pauses. And I have a very much renewed respect for anyone who does this professionally. Looks like we have a timeout on the field. It's going to be a timeout by Ocean View. 38 seconds left to go here in the first half, so they're going to try and at least get some points out of this so they can come back and get the ball and extend their lead if they're able to get some points right now.
Do you know what the next game of the week will be?
Yes, so our next game of the week will be next week back here at Bolsa Grande Stadium. It's going to be the start of Empire League play as Pacifica will be hosting Valencia, so that should be a very fun game. Although Pacifica down a little bit right now, once league play starts in that league, it's especially, there's always groupings. And so the top of the league is anyone can beat anyone, and even at the bottom, anyone can beat anyone. So it's going to be, it should be a great game. And then after that, we're going to have true game of the weeks, and we're not going to know until maybe the week of. So that's going to be very exciting once we hit, week 7, 8, 9, and 10, where things are really picking up and league title races are heating up and playoff spots are on the line. And, of course, we have 3 different leagues that we can choose from, in our district. So it's going to be exciting for sure. Armenta with trips left, drops back to pass. Looking to pass to Gomez and incomplete. Referees letting the teams play a little bit here. We'd love to see it. So this is a very great program that we have, and with the support of Athletic Director Mameli, and of course our Office of Secondary Education, first Miss McAmis, and now Dr. Heflin, who is on her second official day here by herself. She's still here. She hasn't run off yet, and we're glad to have her. She's awesome and amazing. So we're going to be continuing this in some sort of fashion going into the winter season. It looks like that was an interception if they call it complete. Incomplete, but a nice play on the ball there. So, we'll try and roll something into basketball season.
Perfect.
Either some hype videos or something where we bring a good experience. And hopefully it's nothing but just, growing from here. And that's the goal.
No, that's amazing. Yeah, we've gone a long ways
Yeah.
in this district of just how we present our sports.
Oh, yes, for sure. Basketball is just one of those where the atmosphere is always amazing because sound gets
amplified
and knocked in. I remember my first ever high school basketball game was a CIF game, the Rancho Girls, back in, I believe, like 92, and that was the last time until I was older I went to a basketball game because the band was in the gym.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, it was beautiful, but just too much for a 6-year-old.
Kind of loud.
Yeah. Hand off to Hastings Allen on the side to the. Wow, almost lost it there. Hastings Allen there to the left side for a gain of about 8 yards. And looks like they might be doing a measurement here. Oh, no, that was a turnover on downs, actually, so it's Rancho ball. No, that's a first down for the Seahawks. I like to fashion my commentating after Eli Manning. If anyone has noticed. I am a Giants fan, by the way,
Oh, how
so
funny.
it would only be fitting.
Eli and Peyton have been great since retirement too, just doing so for the ESPN.
They
Oh
are
my
so
goodness.
they are so entertaining.
They are entertaining.
Like, it's wonderful to see. Ocean View with a first down with 20 seconds here to go in the first half. Ball at the Rancho 39-yard line. Ocean View looking to take a lead into halftime as they will be getting the ball back once the second half starts. Armenta passes to the left side, has number 2 Jordan Smith-Sherry open, and that's going to be a flag on the play. Let's see what the call is here. It was a late call right there on the sideline. It's going to be a personal foul on the Vaqueros, so Ocean View with a nice gain on that pass, and now getting a little bit of extra yardage there with the penalty. 16 seconds left to go here, so let's see if they can manage the clock well and get into the end zone. We're going to have a timeout called by the Vaqueros. So as we talk about like the facilities, improvements, so we'll call it Jason Field because that's what it was known as at the time. Now that was a very old stadium, but it had like a little bit of charm. Mm-hmm. Both of the older stadiums to me were like they hold a special place in my heart. But it's good to see the new ones. But just like your feelings about that stadium and then compared to like Monsoor now.
Yeah, definitely. Kind of just a different look, just an updated look. But I feel that since our stadium just being modernized, all the football programs in our district have done a really good job of holding their own and making new memories in these new stadiums.
Speaking of holding our own, so our district teams right now have an 18-12 overall record, which is pretty good, for a district of our size. Of course, being 7 schools, so we do have some schools there with a little bit of wins. La Quinta winless, but battling. We covered them against Costa Mesa, and they were down by 2 touchdowns, ended up coming back in the fourth quarter and losing by 1. So that was a very exciting game to watch, and they're just like right there at the cusp of getting that victory. But we've had some good football over the last few weeks. Mm-hmm. Armenta takes the snap, looks to pass, dropped off to Jordan Smith-Sherry and incomplete. 12 seconds left on the clock here in the second quarter. So yeah, the last basketball game I went to, I was working at Santiago, and it was actually for the league championship, and it was Santiago against Rancho.
Okay.
I believe it was back in 2012.
Okay.
And that gym was rocking.
Yeah.
I mean, both teams came out playing hard, and it was a good game to watch. Just the atmosphere was great. Ocean View comes out in trips right. Armenta getting ready to take the snap. Drops back, looks to the middle, dumps it off to number 46. That's going to be a touchdown for the Seahawks. It's going to be the second time that Armenta has hooked up there with number 46, Gage Pritchard. As the Seahawks take the lead here with just 7 seconds left to go here in the first half. And they will be getting the ball back, so a little bit of pressure now on the Rancho defense coming back out of halftime.
We
But-
cannot blame Dr. Heflin for leaving. She's
This
still
one-
here.
she's still
It wasn't-
here.
It wasn't her.
So it wasn't her. She's
Was
still
not
here.
her.
She's safe. She's good. She will be with a job here on Monday.
She's a former Lobo, a former Vaquero, a Husky.
She's toward the district. Yeah, I was a former Lobo,
Okay.
so I went there freshman year, and I was a former Husky. I was there for a semester, my 11th grade year. So there you go. I was saved. I didn't have to go to the other school. So, and it's all love. It's always all love here. The rivalry is in good faith, good gestures, friendly rivalry.
I think that's one thing our district has done a good job of, is learning how to be competitive with one another within the lines and within the guidelines, and just, a fair play, but still being very competitive.
And, I've noticed a lot, like outside of school, a lot of the athletes from different schools really do interact with each other, and they're talking to each other on social media. And when all four of the football teams were in the playoffs, Santiago, Rancho, Garden Grove, and there was one more, Los Amigos. When they were on the playoffs, the students were, the players were wishing each other good luck and talking to each other, and that's really good to see, that camaraderie. Ball picked up by number 10, Matthew Sanchez, who was tripped up by Alexander Cruz, and it's going to be 4 seconds left here in the first half. Let's see if Rancho just takes a knee and goes into halftime.
When
So-
you're younger, those extended learning opportunities would have helped you out.
Let me tell you, these kids these days are just amazing. They have all of these amazing opportunities. The CTE program with all of just the opportunities to learn different skills, computer skills, programming skills, graphic design skills,
Cybersecurity.
Yeah. I mean, at every school, you've got these pathways and these classes that these students can learn and take bona fide skills with them once they graduate. And I really hope these students understand, and although the district is awesome and it's been great for a long time, that it's only gotten better as the years gone on, as our leadership has given, these students different opportunities to develop, useful skills that they can use once they get out of high school.
Exactly.
Yeah. Coach, we thank you for joining us. Dr. Heflin, we thank you as well for being silent support here. We appreciate it. Even though you're silent, your support it's felt everywhere. If you'd like to jump on the microphone and introduce yourself to the people as we set up here for halftime at Rancho. Dr. Heflin, welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you, David. It's nice to be here.
It's awesome. It's great to have you here, our new leader, who's going to help us forge through the future with ferocity.
That's right. That's right.
It's awesome. You've got some shoes to fill there with
I
Kelly
do.
McCamus, but
I do. Mrs. McCamus, she was a legend. She has, just at the district office alone, 14 years, starting as the director in 712 instruction, as Dr. Maffey was the current assistant superintendent, and then as Dr. Maffey moved her way up to superintendent, Mrs. McCamus moved into the assistant superintendent role, and so she's been in that role for 10 years. So she's definitely done some amazing things across the district, set some really great things in place. But one of those amazing things that she really did help get started was athletics, and that's one of the things that I hope that I can continue with as well. I've always been out of my school sites I would hope to think one of the biggest supporters of our athletic programs, especially at Los Amigos and at Rancho. It's one of the best parts of high school. As a former athlete myself, I know what the importance of athletics is and what it does for our students. And that is something we just want to continue to grow and bolster and make sure that our student athletes are getting everything they deserve on and off the fields. It's important. So Coach Than was actually just talking about our 3 new fields coming. We've got our turf fields coming over at Rancho, Santiago, and Los Amigos. We're really excited about that. I mean, that's been, years? Years that we've been hoping for that, and thankfully we have the most supportive board of education, and they said let's go for it. And so in November we're going to see a lot of construction taking place out there.
And that's beautiful. And that hopefully keeps some of our athletes home. I don't like to point out that I can point out our athletes on other rosters, but I can because I follow, athletics like that. But I think it's really important to have those facilities to keep these kids home, and very good kids.
Absolutely.
Home. I don't want to tell you where Malachi Nelson, the #1 quarterback in the nation, played his youth football, but it's very close to this stadium, and you could see it if you just point your head out of the window. So keeping athletes like that here within the city is huge, because there are athletes in this city, and to keep them here and that's definitely the goal. And hopefully we can help out along with Dave Mameli to really bring new experiences to show that the athletics here it's no joke.
It is no joke. And, like you had mentioned, we're in 3 different leagues, 5 of our schools being in our Garden Grove League. We just want to make sure our experiences are available and out there. And we really do want to keep our students in our district. I mean, we've been talking about the past quarter, homegrown, both of you being homegrown from our district. And that's where it starts. And the more you have students who are extend to are able to watch the game, they can do that.
And, you know, I have to say that I love having my father listening in because he lets me know when we don't have things going. So we didn't have sound for that segment.
Oh, no. That whole segment?
That whole segment, how you talked about how great I was and how I
That
deserve
one?
a raise.
Wait, your dad, Frank Mora, didn't hear about that?
He didn't hear about me deserving a raise and me being probably the most impactful Mora to ever work for the district. He didn't hear that.
Well, there's a shout out to Frank Mora. He and I actually worked together over at Los Amigos for some years.
He was also very excited to hear that you were moving into this position.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Frank. Yeah, very excited. Oh, we've got a UFO on the field.
Very creative.
I'm telling you, the creativity doesn't stop with our students here. They do. They look great.
You know, one thing we don't get anymore with the new turf is the classic
The
cars
classic
coming around the track.
cars. That was
Yeah.
that was fun.
Yeah, that
and
was
they
always good
very
to see.
particular. The girls couldn't have their heels on when they're in there, and make sure they sit a certain way and don't dent anything. But I mean, that was tradition for years. All right, looks like we've got some crowning happening on.
You know, it's incredible to see class of 2026 on there. I still remember, like, oh, your class of 2024 or 2004. I'm like, oh, yeah, wow. You know, like, that came by fast. And now 2026, you know.
Let's see, have you figured that out? What are your kids? When will they graduate?
I have no idea. My kid right now is in kindergarten.
So that would be like class of 2035?
Yeah, 35.
Kindergarten.
I'll
Wow,
have-
that
you know-
was fast.
I'll have 29 years in the district in 20. That's just.
We won't talk about that. That'll be 35 years. Well, here we go.
But she'll have another 17 on her 30-year contract. If that's
Yeah.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
We'll just keep extending it.
Why are we extending my 2 days, guys? 2
We'll
days.
have you on the Brady contract. You know. You won't have to work Wednesdays.
Not sure how that'll go over, but that's, I'm good on my Wednesdays too, Dr. Maffei and Board of Education. I'm all good. I'm all good. Oh, that's too funny.
Terry Rocco actually was she went to the assembly today where we had at Rancho.
Oh, so board member Terry Rocco, she makes her rounds, to her schools. It's beautiful to see.
She really does.
Yeah.
She is at all of her schools in her trustee area. Terry Rocco is one that, our entire board is so supportive. You'll find Terry Rocco at all of her events in her trustee area. It doesn't surprise me at all that she was at your assembly today.
Not at all.
That's great.
I like how they're using the UFO to announce names here.
Oh, you're right. I just did notice that. That's clever. See? Clever. Are they your students, Coach, then?
I think some of my basketball players are holding up the signs, if that counts.
It counts.
It's the height.
You know what? It
It's the
counts.
height.
Those without those signs, you've got no. There's no. I'm trying to think of the word. I can't think of the word right now. Which happens a lot. Context. There we go. There's no context to what we're looking at.
Rancho and retrograde. So this is the conclusion of the homecoming week for Rancho Alamitos. Launching, I believe, last Saturday at their homecoming dance that was held in the quad on campus. So it looks like maybe Elizabeth was named queen. That's exciting.
I hope Elizabeth gets to keep the UFO and hang it in her house.
When
for
I was a
keepsake.
senior, if that happened, I'd be putting that in my
Oh yeah.
room for
Oh
sure.
yeah. I'd want that
I'd want that on my wall.
for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
A lot of people don't have any idea of how much it takes for these students to put on these halftime shows and just the whole week. And they were probably on campus very late into the night, early mornings, getting these things done and rehearsing. So kudos to the Rancho ASB for putting on a beautiful halftime show here.
led by their advisor, Mr. Jason Lupe, and Miss Bridget Lockhart.
There we go.
That is quite the commitment to lead the leadership class.
I don't want to show their age, but they were both teachers when I was there.
Well,
but they're young, only probably in their late 30s.
easily. Just late 30s, probably.
Just late 30s.
I think we're all late 30s at this point.
I'm going to say late 20s. I'll say late 20s.
Well, for you, yes. Yes, absolutely. Wait, who's your math teacher again, sir?
I'm not going to, we're not going to put him on blast. And I did at Mr. Hall, I think, for all 3 years I was at Rancho.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, my. That is too much.
And I can't remember. At Los Amigos I had Miss Montez.
Oh, yes.
Who
Who's
was
still teaching there?
Still teaching there. I think her last name,
Montez.
did it change?
It
was.
did.
So it was Miss Atondo or something like that way before,
Yes.
and then it changed.
Atondo, I believe.
Yeah.
ATO and DO.
Yes.
Yes.
So that was my math teacher there.
Mm-hmm.
But never a math guy. So we have these Orange County communicators meeting, and one of the PIO at Newport Mesa, she was like, "Oh yeah, someone do those numbers for me. That's why I did communications, because I'm not a math." I've never related so much to what someone has said. That very moment, I'm like, you know what? Yes.
Mm-hmm. Very much so. That's one of the things. Just I know that. COVID was rough. COVID was rough for everybody. And we were getting so much funding from our state, which helps us provide so many opportunities. I'm just thinking about, students who might be struggling still. I struggled in math. I can't even imagine if I had to have gone through high school during a global pandemic. And so with all the funding that we're able to get from our state and put it to use, our ELO, our Extended Learning Opportunity Program, that we have at all 7 high schools are taking place, a variety of programs based off the needs of where the students are at that time. I know that Coach Than has one, I believe, for geometry.
There we go.
0 period geometry, which is fantastic. But it's giving the students the opportunity to come in and really show that mastery once they, the teachers are able to reteach. Students can kind of figure out maybe where some of that learning went askew a bit and get back on track and be able to make up some of the grades or missing assignments or retest and show that mastery so they can pull their grades up. Because really, at the end of the day, we want our students to be getting a C or higher in all their classes so they can meet A through G requirements and graduate on time. And so with some of that learning loss that took place during the pandemic, those extended learning opportunities in the morning and after school provide that chance for our students to get back on track and connect with our teachers. Relationships are being built, students are getting back on track, grades are going up.
I felt like this year was, our most normal start, right, since 2019.
Yes.
As normal as it could possibly get. And you could feel just the shift change and just the attitudes and the students, without the masks and the smiles and just the energy that they've been having. And, we had our first internship class in person this past week. It was all online last year. And, I felt very proud. By the time they were out of that class, they had an Instagram, chat going so they could keep in touch with each other since they're all coming from different schools.
Right.
So now that, I guess that's what happened in the pandemic, right? So the communication, and they were able to kind of like translate that now into in person. So
yes.
It's beautiful to see just the students are coming out with this different mindset now and just wanting to be at school. And you can tell here with the packed house that we've got, they want to be out at events, and they want to be a part of everything that they couldn't over the past 2 years.
Right. We had a great opening in the district. We've gotten so much positive feedback from our students, our families, our teachers. Everyone's they're just in a different place, and I think it made a difference. The travel restrictions and just restrictions in general in our community were a lot less than last summer. People were out to be able to get out in the summer, travel, do some things, just be out in the community, and that made a huge difference for when everyone returned back, because so much of that normalcy was really taken away from us for the past couple years. Yeah. And I think it has provided for a much more positive than the past couple years of that reopening. I mean, and that's a commitment to our teachers. The teachers have made such a commitment to providing that positive, optimistic, welcoming classroom environment. I mean, at the end of the day, it's about belonging. And if we don't have our students feeling that sense of belonging, they're not. It's hard for them to do well in academics when they don't feel like they belong to their community.
Right.
And whether it's, if we've got our cheerleaders out here, football, band, looks like we have our color guard that's represented tonight too, but all the other clubs and athletics that are out there on the campus, it's that sense of belonging and making sure that they feel connected.
And and I noticed a lot during the pandemic and distance learning, teachers tried their best to create that same environment. Opening up their meeting rooms, after class. Students saying, I can't, come this morning. I'm babysitting my brother or sister.
Right.
A lot of things like that going on. And teachers, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Hey, you know what? I'm here right now. I'm in the meeting room. Do you need to go over something? And just making themselves available and trying to give the students that sense of, hey, we're here for you. It's open. And, even though it's not that physical, openness,
Right.
it's still counting and still meant something. And I think teachers were working probably twice as hard during the
Most
pandemic
definitely.
and putting in twice the amount of work just to try and bring the same experience for their students. And I think that's definitely something that I noticed, and I definitely appreciate, and got a whole new appreciation for some of our teachers who I noticed, and even on social media, they would be showing what they were doing and sharing the different things that they were, experimenting with, and just trying to make up for that, that lost experience. And it's great.
Absolutely. I mean, really, education got flipped upside down on its head, and we had to reinvent everything we did.
Yeah.
The way every single thing that we did, and not just with our teachers, that was our classified staff too, and that support system, and every single staff member in our district, our 5,000 employees they each played such a significant role in making sure that we got through that pandemic and that time. And then with the reopening,
Yeah.
everybody had a role, and they did an amazing job. And I think that's what contributes to what we see right now.
Oh, yeah.
The positivity, the optimism, and everyone being so happy. Looks like our vaqueros are back on the field.
Yes, as we approach the start of the second half here, they put 3 minutes back on the clock for some warm-up time. We have the
Thank you,
Seahawks
homecoming.
leading the Vaqueros 18-13 here, and we appreciate both of you for your time. I don't want to hold you guys hostage up here. If you want to get back down there to the sideline and get a better view of the game, please feel free to do so.
Thank you.
I really appreciate both of you spending time with me and telling us a little bit about Rancho basketball. And hopefully I get to see you in the winter, and we're doing something there for your team to kind of highlight them and show them off a little bit. So I appreciate both of you. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you, David. I'll be back soon.
There we go. Like I said, always open.
Awesome. Thank you so much, David.
So here we are. Now you guys are stuck with me, but I thank you for tuning in, everyone who is here. And look at our graphics, always just on and making things look terrible. So as we start the game in just a little bit, under 2 minutes here to go, Rancho will be kicking off to the Seahawks, who hold a 18-13 lead here, scoring late there in the second half to take the lead. The Vaqueros scoring 13 unanswered points to take a 13-12 lead. So it's been a series of swings here. The momentum was all in Ocean's View favor to start the game as they took a 12-0 lead. It shifted to Rancho's favor as they took a 13-12 lead. Then swung right back to Ocean View. So hopefully this second half, if it's not a Rancho, a Rancho runaway, hopefully we have ourselves a good game with some entertaining plays here for you tonight. This is Garden Grove Unified School District High School Football Friday. I am David Mora. On camera today is Ben Nguyen from La Quinta High School. He's doing a fantastic job on camera. Really doesn't need that much guidance. He's already a professional here. as we let you enjoy some of the sights and sounds here at Bolsa Grande Stadium. The new Bolsa Grande Stadium, not the one that us old school folks are used to. So we mentioned earlier how Rancho has played in 3 different leagues and won league titles in those 3 different leagues. So their second title after that 1959 Freeway League title was a Crestview League title, the original Crestview League back in 1965. Then when the Garden Grove League was formed in 1966, the Vaqueros were your inaugural champions. So they were the first Garden Grove League champions, and now they are your latest Garden Grove League champions. Of course, having a total of 18. So this isn't the first time Rancho has played Ocean View, as the teams have played each other a total of 5 times since 2002, with Rancho holding a 3-2 edge. Martinez getting ready to kick off for the Vaqueros, or Sanchez kicking off for the Vaqueros. This is going to roll into the end zone for a touchback. So it's going to be Ocean View ball at the 20-yard line. So Ocean View looking to carry that momentum from the first half, where they scored late to take this 18-13 lead. The Vaquero defense hoping to turn them away and get this ball back and give their offense a chance to take the lead right back from the Seahawks. Like I said, these teams have played each other a total of 5 times, and the closest game was decided by 5 points, which was a win by Ocean View. All the other games have been decided by 21 points or more, so high-scoring affairs in this series. The largest margin of victory was 46. As Hastings takes this ball to the right side, breaks a few tackles, is in the open field at 35, at the 40, and gets pushed out of bounds by number 3, Aaron Dominguez. It's going to be a first down for the Seahawks at their own 49-yard line. So the largest margin of victory in this series was 45 points, which was a win by Rancho back in 2003 at Ocean View. If you listen to our first game where we had Ocean View, I mentioned that I was at that game as a student in the stands. That was a 48-3 win for the Vaqueros, who I believe narrowly missed the playoffs that year after they tied Garden Grove in the last game. Armento with trips left. Hastings Ellen to his right, drops back to pass, looks right, decides to tuck in run and gets tackled for no gain on the play. It's going to bring up second down. Number 42 and 55 on the tackle. For the most part, this has been a very tight game. While each side has really kind of stole the momentum from the other, no one's really run away with it yet. So very competitive here tonight. Trips left for Ocean View. Pass to Hastings Ellen to the right side, breaks a tackle to the 50, and gets taken down by number 7, Frank Candelario, who I was able to interview this Monday. Very well-spoken young man. Very impressed with just the way he handled himself on camera. Not a lot of teenagers can be comfortable on camera, and he was a little bit nervous beforehand, but impressing myself as well as District AD Dave Lamelli. Ocean View lining up for this third down play. They've got 3 wide receivers. Armenta takes the snap, fakes a handoff, pass off to Adame on the left side, who's taken down almost immediately by number 1, Isaiah Key. It's going to bring up a 4th down here for the Seahawks, who of course don't punt the ball. They had that one quick kick at the start, and that 4th and 12 that they converted on that first drive they had in the first quarter. So expect them to definitely go for it. Ball on the 50. Really makes no sense for them to kick it away if they're not a team that punts anyway, as they come out lined up in trips right. Allen in the backfield with Armenta. Armenta changing things up at the line there. Oh, it's going to be a quick kick, so I was wrong, which I am quite a bit here on the broadcast. It takes a nice little Rancho bounce and is maybe a punt of about 20 yards as it lands at the Rancho 30-yard line. So Rancho starting their first drive of the second half. Coach Enright has to be very pleased with how that first drive went for the Vaqueros. Giving up a few plays here, but pretty much holding Ocean View in check. And now this offense has a chance to go back out there and take the lead right back from the Seahawks. Mentioned earlier that Coach Enright has been here since 2000. He is the longest tenured Garden Grove Unified School District football coach. Hurley takes the snap, hands the ball off. No gain on that play, maybe a loss of 1. Looks like Acosta and Diaz back there with Hurley. 2 wide receivers. Hurley takes the snap, looks to pass. And that's going to be Ocean View football. As Ocean View gets the ball right back here, and the momentum swings back towards the Seahawks one more time. So the Seahawks getting the ball right back, 10 yards from where they had it on the drive before. It's going to be a 1st and 10 from the Rancho 40. Allen in the back there with Armenta. Armenta rolls out to his right, feels the pressure, lets the ball go. Pass complete to number 9, Josh Crane. So Rancho was giving a lot of pressure on that play, and Armenta just made a nice play. And that pass and catch is going to give them a 1st down. Gain of about 11 yards on that play. Seahawks come on a 3 wide receiver set. Armenta there with Allen in the backfield. Takes the snap, handoff to Allen to the left side. Taken down almost as he got the ball. Tackled by number 51, Demetrius Singh. We're going to have a timeout on the field. It's going to be a loss of about 4 on the play. Actually, not a timeout, it's a flag on the play, and that's going to be on Rancho. So a nice play negated by a penalty, so it's a personal foul on the Vaqueros. And that's going to bring up a 1st down. Ball now at Rancho 18-yard line. 4 wide receivers for Armenta. Allen in the backfield to his right. Gets ready to take the snap. Drops back to pass. Thrown to the left side and caught by Adame. And another flag on the play. Maybe a little bit of extracurricular activity there on the Vaqueros. So not a good showing here for the defense on this second drive for the Seahawks. Hopefully I'm wrong, but it does look like it's on the Vaqueros. And yep, personal foul on the Vaqueros. Second personal foul in a row, so not something that this defense needs to be doing, especially this deep in their own territory, as now the Seahawks are going to have this ball in a first and goal situation. And they're going to have this ball at the 6-yard line. Armenta keeps it himself to the right side and gets taken down at about the 5-yard line. Calling it a gain of 2, so the ball's now at the 5-yard line. Looks like number 3, Aaron Dominguez, was in on that tackle. Got 7 minutes and 10 seconds as the clock is ticking down here in the third quarter. Hand off to Allen, who takes it to the left side. Gets maybe 2 yards on the play. Giving him 3 yards, so that ball is going to be on the 2-yard line as it brings up a third down for the Seahawks. We're looking to extend this 5-point lead here in the third quarter. That play is going to be stopped almost immediately as there is penalty on the play. It's going to be a false start on the Seahawks, so that's going to be a play that's going to go Rancho's way. The Seahawks will be taken back a few yards. Ball's going to be at the 7-yard line. Third down for the Seahawks. And they're putting that ball at the 6-yard line. So Seahawks getting another crack at it here on third down. Clock's still running here, so not an issue yet, but good clock management by the Seahawks. Armenta getting ready to take the snap. He's got 3 wide receivers. Drops back to pass, looks to his left, pump fakes, brings it back down, feels the pressure, and decides to just keep it. And he's going to get nowhere on that play, maybe to the line of scrimmage, or a loss of about 1 on the play, and that's going to bring up fourth down. So let's see if this Rancho defense can hold this Seahawk offense here deep in their own territory. This would give Rancho a lot of momentum if they could make this stop here. Not saying it's a play of the game type situation, but it's going to be a play that could determine what the Vaqueros will be doing moving forward. So I mentioned one of my favorite games earlier at this stadium, a Rancho defeat of Bellflower back in 1996. We'll get to the worst one after this. Armenta drops back to pass, has Gomez open on the left side, but he's brought down by Vaqueros, and they're going to be getting that ball down. A trio of Vaqueros taking down Jesse Gomez on that play. That's going to be a turnover on downs. So after that 1996 first-round victory, where Rancho defeated Bellflower here on this field, they went over to Buena Park High School and defeated Sunny Hills in a rematch of the 92 championship game. And they returned back here. Now, we mentioned that the other school from down the street, that's Red, played Rancho in the CIF championship game a few years ago, but that wasn't the first time that Rancho faced a Garden Grove League or Garden Grove Unified School District opponent in the playoffs. Back in 1996, in the semifinals here at Bolsa Grande Stadium, Rancho played Pacifica as they hand the ball off to Diaz, who takes it to the left side and maybe gets 1 or 2 yards on the play. So it was Rancho Alamitos versus Pacifica in 1996 in the semifinals. Rancho was the visiting team at that point. They're on the east sideline of Bolsa Grande Stadium, which is not really a familiar place, and unless, except when they played La Quinta and Bolsa and Pacifica every other year. But nevertheless, visitors at their own home stadium in the playoffs. They end up losing that game, I believe, 21-14. Rancho was undefeated going into that game. They were 12-0, and they had defeated Pacifica 10-7 in the regular season. But Pacifica got the win that really mattered. And although they went on to lose the CIF championship to Aliso Niguel that year, that is definitely a win that Pacifica holds over the Rancho faithful. And I'm sure especially those older generations, but definitely a heartbreaker. One of the most heartbreaking losses that I witnessed being a fan of Rancho football. Of course, the next year in 97, Rancho went 10-0 again in the regular season and just could not put it together in the playoffs. As that year they beat Aliso Niguel in the first round here at Bolsa Grande Stadium, but then went over to Covina and lost to Northview at Old Covina District Stadium. So Rancho with the ball after a penalty deep in their own territory. It's going to be 1st and 15 from the 4-yard line. Hurley going to take this snap in his own end zone. Quick handoff to Diaz, who takes it to the left side. Breaks one tackle and gets taken down from behind, but not before he gets a gain of about 6 yards. So in 96, or actually in 97, that second undefeated season, Hurley with a quick pass to the right side, which is not going to go anywhere. Caught by number 10, Matthew Sanchez. In 1997, that second undefeated season for Rancho, they had a big matchup with Esperanza High School. A lot of people not giving Rancho much of a chance in that game, as Esperanza was a Division I power, and they ended up thumping Esperanza 38-14. But that wasn't even one of the biggest wins, or it probably was the biggest win for Rancho at that time, but it wasn't one of the bigger wins, as they had two. And we'll get to that 1992 win in just a moment. Hurley drops back, looks to his left side, dumps it off, and has a man open. It's Carlos Acosta who makes that play and holds on to the ball after taking a nice hit to the lower body. He's a little shaken up on that play. It's going to bring down 4th and 3 for the Vaqueros, who will most likely punt in this situation. So back in 1992, Rancho met up with number 3 Mission Viejo, and they ended up winning that game 31-13. And in that game, the Vaqueros were led by Jeff Bird and Leon Vickers. In 1997, they were led by Alex Blanco and David Vickers. Yes, the brother of Leon. So the Vickers having a hand in 2 of the biggest victories in Rancho history. Rancho, of course, back at that time, a premier rushing team. One running back after another, just leading the county in rushing and winning players of the year. It all started with Sean Cheatham. With Sean Cheatham, and then followed by Dana Riddle, Ulysses Trammell, Leon Vickers, Jeff Bird, Kevin Allen, Leo Cozy, David Vickers, and Alex Blanco, all running roughshod over every single defense that they played. And everybody knew that Rancho was a running team. They had some passing success with John Frank in 93 and 94, but predominantly Rancho just running the ball all up and down Orange County football fields in the mid-80s to mid-90s. Of course, Rancho nowadays more of a balanced attack, if not leaning more towards the pass. The name Nick Brown should bring some good memories to some of the newer Rancho fans, and for D coordinators, probably still terrorizing their thoughts and their dreams as he was slinging the ball all over the field. I believe he owns the county touchdown record, if I'm not mistaken. I know he does own a county record. Ocean View will start this drive from the Rancho 45-yard line, looking to extend this lead one more time. Hand off to Allen to the right side. Gets a gain of about 5 on the play. It's going to bring up second down for the Seahawks. So at this point, the clock management really not a factor. But as we kind of start to wind down, and if the Seahawks can break, 5 yards on this rush and 5 yards on that rush, it's going to be something that the Vaqueros are going to have to start thinking about and start trying to stop this run and force the Seahawks to go to their passing game. That's Carson Solsana now at quarterback for the Seahawks. Now this is what happened in the game against Los Amigos as well. Armenta did not finish the game at quarterback. I believe it was Solsana who finished the game for the Seahawks. So not sure what the deal is there. But that might be limiting what the Seahawks are going to be doing in this second half. And they could just be focusing more on a run game as we inch closer towards the end of the third quarter. Solsana in the backfield with Allen. Hand off to Allen to the left side. Tries to break up the middle and is met by a few Vaqueros. He gets a gain of about 2 on the play, and there's fourth down for the Seahawks, who quick kicked it on the last drive. Don't imagine they would do it now, but like I said, I'm wrong many a time here on this broadcast. .26 or 7-yard line. That's going to be ball on the 27-yard line, so Rancho getting another crack at it. Looking to get that lead back from the Seahawks. We've had a scoreless third quarter so far, and we only have 19 seconds left, so unless Rancho pulls off a big play here, we're going to have no points scored in the third quarter, as both defenses have really stepped it up. Both coaches making some great adjustments there at halftime, as you can tell. Hurley gets ready to take the snap. Diaz in the backfield with him. Hand off to Diaz, who gets maybe 1 or 2 yards on the play. Let's see where they spot it. Calling it a gain of 1. So Ocean View doing a really good job of holding this Rancho run game in check. We haven't really seen Hurley throw the ball too much, and let's see if that changes as we are now going into the fourth quarter here at Bolsa Grande Stadium. I am David Mora, and you are tuned into Garden Grove Unified School District Athletics High School Football Friday night. We have a tight battle here at Bolsa Grande Stadium. It's going to all that we have left here, and we've had a good game so far tonight. Hope that you have been entertained and hope that you have liked what you have seen so far tonight. Hurley looking to pass, has a man open. That's number 10, and that's going to be an interception as Hurley throws into double coverage there. Pass intended for Matthew Sanchez. And the Seahawks get the ball right back as the momentum has now swung right back into their favor. So the Seahawks starting with the ball at their own 42-yard line, looking to make something happen here. We have so Armenta's back in at quarterback, passes it off to Gomez to the left side. Gomez makes the catch and takes it to about the 48-yard line where he's brought down. We're going to give him that ball at the 49-yard line. Going to bring up a 2nd and 2 for the Seahawks. So the Vaquero defense spending a lot of time out there on the field tonight. At this point, you got to start thinking of the fatigue. If you're the Seahawks, you want to try and wind them, grind them down a little bit more. Trips right for the Seahawks. Armenta takes a snap, drops back to pass, looks to his left and overthrows, or looks to his right and overthrows his receiver. Pass intended for number 46, Gage Pritchard. It's going to bring up a 3rd down for the Seahawks. Seahawks with a 3rd and about 4 on the to go. Armenta getting ready to take the snap, trips right. Quick handoff to Allen, who's taken down immediately by number 42. Teo Falelaili'i, and I don't know if I said that right, but I tried because that was an amazing play. That was a big boom. He brought out the hit stick on that one. And that's going to bring up a 4th and about 6 or 7 yards for the Seahawks. So big Rancho defensive play right there. Allen taken down almost as he got that football. Seahawks will come out and try to get the 1st down as they got trips right. And it's going to be a quick kick. So Seahawks not taking any chances, and this is going to be the best kick that they've had all night. And that ball's going to be downed at the 1-yard line. Or are they going to call it a touchback? No, they're downing that ball at the 1-yard line. So the Seahawks get a very lucky bounce on that quick kick, and they have pinned the Vaqueros. I mean, you want to talk about the shadow of your own end zone. You can feel that end zone just breathing right down your back if you're the Vaqueros, who have to be very careful with what they do here. So they're giving them the ball at the half-yard line. You couldn't get any closer to your own end zone if you tried. So let's see what the Vaqueros come out and try and do on this first play. Hopefully they can get a little bit of padding and some breathing room, because they cannot feel comfortable being deep into their own territory like this, as almost everybody is lined up in the end zone. Hurley takes the snap, pump fakes, looks to pass. Ooh, dangerous throw. Pass almost picked off by number 24, Nick Flum, intended for Matthew Sanchez. So the Vaqueros not changing their game plan too much and getting daring here from their own end zone, avoiding disaster on that play. Second down for the Vaqueros from the half-yard line. Hurley getting ready to take the snap. Quick handoff to Diaz, who gets them out of the end zone at least, who gets a gain of about 5-6 yards on the play. Going to be second down and 4 for the Vaqueros, third down and 4 for the Vaqueros. Calling it a 3rd and 5. But now they're not all lined up in the end zone. Hurley getting ready to take the snap. Martinez comes in, Sanchez comes in motion. Martinez comes in motion, handoff to Diaz again, who gets taken down immediately. There have been some very big hits here in the fourth quarter from both teams, as the Vaqueros are going to have to punt this ball away. This Ocean View defense is a very night and day defense from that game where we covered them against Los Amigos. Holding this Rancho offense in check for the better part of this second half. And aside from a few plays in the second quarter, have held the Rancho offense to very minimal damage here. Vaqueros punting from deep in their own end zone. Ball lands at the 42-yard line and takes a Seahawk bounce down at about the 44-yard line. So the Seahawks are going to get the ball in Rancho territory, looking to extend this 5-point lead, which they have not been able to do so in this second half. Want to give a shout out to the Bolsa Grande girls volleyball team who beat La Quinta in 4 sets this evening. They are now 4-0 in the Garden Grove League, and La Quinta a very respectable 3-1. So a good game there between two of the leading teams in the Garden Grove League for girls volleyball. Armenta passes to Adame on the right side, who's taken down by number 3, and it looks like number 22 of the Vaqueros. That's Aaron Dominguez and Aaron Ortiz. 2 Aarons teaming up to make that play. It's going to bring up about a 2nd and 12 for the Seahawks. Seahawks coming out for this second down play. Armenta takes a snap, looks to pass, throws to his right, and that's Jordan Smith-Sherry on the reception. He gets a gain of about 4 yards on the play. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 9 for the Seahawks. Now is where we kind of start to think the clock might be an issue. A lot of time winding down here. The Seahawks have done a great job of keeping that time of possession heavily in their favor here in the second half. And it feels like we really haven't seen the Rancho offense out there much, too much here. Trips left for the Seahawks. Pass off to Jordan Smith-Sherry to the right side, who's taken down for a loss of 1. That's going to bring down 4th and 10 for the Seahawks. So let's see what they do here. The last few times they did do that quick kick. The last quick kick they did had Rancho pinned at their own half-yard line. So let's see if they're going to put some trust in their quick kick again, or if they're going to try and extend this drive. They did have that 4th and 12 conversion in the first quarter, but since then haven't really had much luck on these 4th down plays. trips left here for the Seahawks, but ignore the formation on this 4th down. It really could be just a decoy. Nope, they're going to go for it. Armenta's going to pass to the right side, intended for Gomez, who couldn't quite reach it. So Vaquero is going to be taking the ball over at the 44-yard line. Their own 44-yard line, that is. So not bad field position. 5 minutes and 32 seconds left to go here in the 4th quarter. Plenty of ball game left to be played. So this ball game looks like it's going to come down to a very tight finish, and hopefully the Vaqueros can punch it into the end zone on this drive. So here we go with the Vaqueros coming out. 5 minutes, 32 seconds left to go here in the 4th quarter. Hurley pitches to Diaz. Diaz takes it around the right side and met immediately by number 24, who's been all over the field tonight, and that's Nick Flum, who's just been a menace on defense for the Seahawks. Second down and 10 for the Vaqueros. Hurley looking to the sideline to get some clarification on the play. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, passes it to number 7, Frank Candelario, who makes a reception. That's going to be a first down for the Vaqueros at the Ocean View 31-yard line. So the Vaqueros putting together something special here, looking to score as we have 4:46 left on the clock. Run a no huddle, getting right back up to the line of scrimmage. Handoff to Diaz, who takes it to the right side. Breaks one tackle and gets a gain of about 8 yards. So that's going to be a second and, oh no, they're going to give him a 9-yard gain. Vaqueros again with the no-huddle offense. And it looks like the Seahawks are going to be forced to call a timeout. So we have ourselves an exciting finish on tap here at Bolsa Grande Stadium. The Rancho Alamitos Vaqueros down by 5. 18-13 with 4 minutes and 22 seconds left to go here in the 4th quarter. But they're driving, and they've got the ball at the Seahawk 27-yard line, 28-yard line. No, the Seahawk 23-yard line. This crowd getting right back into it. They have stuck around, and that's a good sign to support this football team. And hopefully this football team can give them something to cheer with a touchdown here in the next 4 minutes and 22 seconds. Or less. Hopefully less, but not with too much time on the clock. Here we go. This is the big drive for the Vaqueros. I'm calling this a drive of the game situation. Hurley takes the snap, looks to pass, has a man open on the right side, and that's going to be a reception caught by number 10, Matthew Sanchez, and that's going to move the chains for the Vaqueros. So here we go, folks. If you like exciting finishes, we're on tap for one here as the clock is still running here at Bolsa Grande Stadium. Hurley takes the snap, hands off to Diaz on the right side. Gets maybe a gain of 1 on the play. It's going to bring up second down for the Vaqueros. Running a very fast high-tempo offense, no huddles. Getting up to the line of scrimmage, not letting the Seahawks really get set, not giving too much of their play away. This is where you really see what you're made of. So if you're the Vaqueros, you've come off a big victory, but this is really where you earn your stripes. Hurley has the play. He's got 4 wide receivers. Diaz in the back, takes the snap, but we've got a flag on the play. Looks like it will be on the Vaqueros, a false start on the offense, so that's going to take them back 5 yards. Looks like the ball's back around the 23-yard line, 22-yard line. Hurley getting ready to take the snap. He's got 3 wide receivers, drops back to pass, looks to his right. Ball right through the hands of number 10, Matthew Sanchez. It's going to bring up a 3rd down for the Vaqueros, and this is 4 down territory. This is just like our La Quinta game, as it's going to come down to the final few minutes here. We're going to have a timeout on the field. Actually, no, we're going to have another penalty. And that's going to be something on the Seahawks, so the Vaqueros are going to get that ball back, or get those yards back. As the ball is now on the 18-yard line. Hurley takes the snap, fakes the handoff, looks to pass, looks to his left, has a completion to Candelario. Candelario gets the 1st down and gets taken down at about the 3-yard line. So the Vaqueros are rocking and rolling, and they are in business as they have a 1st and goal to go here with 3 minutes and 7 seconds left to go here in the game. And they trail the Ocean View Seahawks 18-13, but they are driving and knocking on the end zone's door here, looking to take the lead in this game. And a perfect record on the line here for the Vaqueros as this crowd is getting lively. Hurley takes the snap, hands off to Diaz, who takes it to the left side and gets maybe a gain of 1 on the play. Ball's going to be marked at the 3-yard line. So here we go, Hurley getting up to the line of scrimmage. He's got 2 wide receivers, Diaz in the backfield, clock still running. Hurley takes the snap, looks to pass, looks to his right, nope. Pass intended for number 10, Matthew Sanchez, but could not be brought in. It's going to bring up 3rd down here for the Vaqueros. And that's going to stop the clock, so we have 2 minutes and 7 seconds left here. So if the Vaqueros do manage to score on this next play, there's going to be plenty of time on the clock for the Seahawks to put together some quick plays to try and get the lead back if they need to. Again, 4 down territory for the Vaqueros, so they'll have 2 plays to get this ball into the end zone, and we're going to have a timeout by the Vaqueros. Coach Enright looking to find the right play to call. So this is the position you want to be in if you're Hurley. This is where you can really solidify your name amongst some of the best that have played here at Rancho. Looking to lead his team to a comeback victory here in Week 5, right here on Garden Grove Unified School District Athletics High School Football Friday. David Mora here thanking you for tuning in. And we definitely are bringing you an exciting finish here, much like the La Quinta game from a few weeks ago, where La Quinta drove down the field and almost came back against the Costa Mesa Mustangs. In the rain, mind you. The Vaqueros here trying to do the same thing tonight against the Ocean View Seahawks, who we are seeing for the 2nd time this season as we cover their game against Los Amigos. This Seahawk team, a much different team than the one we saw a few weeks ago, much improved, especially this defense, who has held on pretty strong tonight, minus a few plays in the 2nd quarter. So here we go, 3rd down for the Vaqueros. Bunch formation here. Hurley takes a snap, hands it off to Diaz, who takes it up the middle, and that's going to be a touchdown for the Vaqueros, and they take the lead. The Vaqueros have taken the lead. The Vaqueros have taken the lead here at Bolsa Grande Stadium. 19-18. A very slim lead here for the Vaqueros, and we are in for an exciting finish. There's still 2 minutes left to go here in the game, so anything can happen. And let's see what the play call is here. Looks like they will be going for the 2-point conversion. The crowd is ruckus here tonight. Hurley takes a snap, pitches it out to Diaz. No, it's going to be a pass to the back of the end zone and broken up by the Seahawks. But I like the play call there. Try to catch them off guard, but the Seahawks read that perfect. Like I said, the Seahawks defense much, much different than the one that we saw back in week 1 against Los Amigos. So the Rancho defense now has the awesome task of trying to stop this Ocean View offense, which they have done for the past 22 minutes. So let's see if they can hold on for 2 minutes more. Let's see if this Rancho defense has one more stop in them, or if the Ocean View offense is going to finally get things going here in the second half. But what a game that we've been able to bring to you here on Garden Grove Unified School District Athletics High School Football Friday. This is the exact kind of game that we hope to have as Matthew Sanchez gets ready to kick the ball off for the Vaqueros. Back deep, I believe, for the Seahawks will be Haston Allen and Jordan Smith-Sherry, but I could be wrong. Just trying to guess here. Sanchez with a good boot, so let's see if they get a return on the ball. And they do. Smart play to get this clock running. Fielded by number 13. We don't have him on the roster, so we don't know his name. But he really didn't get anywhere as he takes that ball for a gain of maybe 3 yards on the play. Ocean View will have the ball at about the 32-yard line. So they're going to have to march about 68 yards downfield. They don't need to score a touchdown, but they don't really have that kicking game. As in the 2 games that we've seen them play, they have not kicked a field goal. So you almost have to assume here that the Seahawks are going to go touchdown or bust in order for them to win this game. And we have 1 minute and 58 seconds left to go here at Bolsa Grande Stadium. Armenta lined up in shotgun. Takes the snap, rolls out to his right, looks to throw. Has number 21 open. Pass complete for a gain of about 4 yards, so that's going to bring up second down. The man got out of bounds, so it's going to be 1:51 left to go here, and the clock will not run. 2nd and 4 to go here for the Seahawks. Trips left for the Seahawks. Let's see if they take it right back to this left side to just kind of spread the field out. Armenta drops back, looks to his left, doesn't have a man, look to his right, calling some action. That's going to be incomplete. No flags on the play. Pass intended for number 4, Jesse Gomez. Clock still stopped, but that's going to bring up a 3rd down for the Ocean View Seahawks. Third and 4 from the 36-yard line. Armenta takes a snap, quick handoff to Allen to the right side. Allen has the 1st down, but taken down inbound, so that clock is going to keep running once they get this ball set. Ocean View, though, no timeouts. So that's huge here. Ocean View with no timeouts and the clock running. Trips left for Armenta as he gets ready to take the snap. Quick handoff to Allen again to the right side. Allen gets taken down after a gain of maybe about 2 yards. And again, the clock is running at 1:23 and ticking now. Again, Ocean View, no timeouts. So they're going to have to hurry up and either stop this clock or run a play. Trips left again. Allen in the backfield with Armenta. Takes the snap, looks to his right to pass, has a ball complete. Gomez on the reception, he gets out of bounds, so that's gonna bring up 3rd and about 4 yards here for the Seahawks. Clock stopped at 1 minute and 1 second. How about this for a finish, folks? It's gonna come right down to the wire. The Vaqueros holding on to a 1-point lead here with 1 minute and 1 second left to go in the 4th quarter. The Seahawks driving ball at the 48. Trips left. Need a big play here by the Vaqueros. Interception would be huge. Armenta to pass, lets it go, and it's intercepted by the Vaqueros! It's intercepted by the Vaqueros with 56 seconds left to go here. Like I said, an interception would have been huge, and it came through. It's huge. Seahawks with no timeouts. All the Vaqueros have to do is run a few run plays. And there was a penalty on the play. And it looks like they called that an incomplete. So I got excited for nothing. But how great would that have been if I called it on the play before? Nevertheless, we've got a 4th down situation. 4th and 8 here for the Seahawks. 56 seconds to go. The game is on the line for the Seahawks. Takes the snap, looks to pass, has a man open. And that's going to be a 1st down for the Seahawks. Great Gage Pritchard on the reception. Again, Seahawks, no timeout, but they're on the right side of the 50 as they have the ball on to the 44-yard line. Armenta looks to pass, throws deep. Incomplete play, incomplete pass, ball intended for Jesse Gomez. Just overthrown. Armenta putting a little bit too much mustard on that one. 36 seconds left to go here in the 4th quarter. Vaqueros 19, Seahawks 18. Seahawks doing a good job on offense extending these drives, but just have not been able to punch it in here in the 2nd half. Armenta takes the snap, looks to pass, looks to his right side, has Gomez open. Gomez with the catch! No, Smith-Sherry with the catch, but the clock is running at 29 seconds. Or clock's not running, but it's going to run 29 seconds. Ocean View with the ball at the 11-yard line, it looks like. So Ocean View striking quick here in the 4th quarter, saving all of their offense for when it really mattered. 24 seconds left to go here. Armenta takes the snap, looks to pass, has Gomez wide open. An incomplete pass, but that's going to stop the clock. 17 seconds left to go here, 19-18 Vaqueros barely holding on to that lead. Seahawks knocking on the end zone's door. Seahawks, if they had a kicking game, this is where they would come up big, but it's touchdown or bust here. Unless they have a kicker that they've been hiding for the past 2 games that we've seen them. So here we go. We have a timeout by the Vaqueros. That's their 2nd timeout. Coach Enright probably not liking what he's seeing. Trying to draw up the perfect play to stop the Seahawks. This one exciting, coming down. Looking like it's probably going to come down to the last play. This is where teams really earn their stripes, like I said earlier. What team is going to be standing when it's all said and done? The Vaqueros look like they took all that momentum back with that touchdown. But the Seahawks were not going to go into the night silently as their offense roars back, driving the ball all the way down to the 11-yard line. And they've got a 2nd down and 11 to go, so they don't need to get a touchdown. All they have to do is get a 1st down. The crowd getting into it, trying to employ this defense to make a stop. This atmosphere is beautiful here tonight. Referees conferencing there in the middle of the two teams. Here we go as Ocean View lines up for this 2nd down play. Armenta takes the snap, looks to pass, has a man open. That was Haston Allen. Gets a gain of about 2 yards on the play. That's going to bring up 3rd down. 6 seconds ran off the clock on that one, so you're looking at maybe 2 plays left here in the game. So the Seahawks, it's 3rd down, so they're going to have 2 plays left anyway. Highly doubt they can get a 1st down and stop this clock in time, so they're going to have to really focus on getting into the end zone on one of the next 2 plays here. Armenta with 3 wide receivers to the left side, looks to pass. Incomplete play. That's going to bring up a 4th down with 8 seconds left. A pass intended for Jesse Gomez. So here we go, folks. This is it. 4th down for the Seahawks. They're 9 yards away from the end zone and 9 yards away from erasing this 1-point deficit against the Vaqueros. Vaqueros 8 seconds and a big defensive stop away from going to 5-0 and entering Garden Grove League play undefeated. This one right here, as they say, is for all the marbles. So here we go, folks. 8 seconds left. 4th and 7 for the Seahawks. Trips left for Armenta, who takes the snap. Looks to pass to his right. Gets sacked by the Vaqueros! And the Vaqueros are going to win this game! The Vaqueros are going to win this game! Big time, huge sack by the Vaqueros, and that's exactly what they needed. 2 seconds left to go on the clock. This last play is just going to be a formality as the Vaqueros are going to move to 5-0 and hold on to beat the Ocean View Seahawks 19-18. Ladies and gentlemen, what a game. What a game that we were able to bring to you on this Garden Grove Unified School District Athletics High School Football Friday. Outstanding finish and outstanding stop by the Vaquero defense. They may have bent, but they did not break, and they held the Seahawks out of the end zone. Like I said, this play is nothing but a formality, as all they have to do is take a knee and let these 2 seconds run off the clock. Seahawks, no timeouts. And your Vaqueros are going to go on to win this game 19-18. And they are now 5-0. Congratulations to the Rancho Alamitos Vaqueros on their victory tonight. A very hard-fought victory. This one did not come easy. And that allows me to say this. Next week, we have for you Week 6, the start of Empire League play for the Pacifica Mariners. They will be hosting the Valencia Tigers. That's Week 6, first game of the Empire League for the Mariners. That's Friday, September 30th at 7 o'clock. The pregame show starts at the same familiar time. For Ben Nguyen on camera, I am David Mora. Thank you for tuning in to Garden Grove Unified School District Athletics High School Football Friday. Until next week, I hope you enjoyed this fantastic game that you just witnessed.